And we're live.
Cool.
Let's see if I gotta sign out in this. Douche.
Whoops.
So I was trying out alternate trying out alternate streaming services yesterday after the whole Twitch thing.
Did you try Hitbox?
I certainly did.
That's the one I'm probably going to head towards.
Yeah.
Seems pretty nice.
Yeah, I tried to stream at 1080, and that did not work.
Yeah, they're getting hit pretty hard.
Yeah, I think the video makes it about 30 seconds in, and just freezes up. It's not great. Alright.
Alright, I don't really have show notes.
Alright.
Since it's been a rough couple of days here.
I'd
so
imagine.
I'm going to do news stories kind of live here.
Alright.
And we'll just kind of talk about whatever's been going on.
Sounds good.
Are you guys ready to start?
Mm-hmm. Whenever you are, man.
Yep.
Alright. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Over there's Knobs.
What's up?
And over there's the Hannah.
Hey, hey.
Apologize. I have to apologize here at the very beginning. This is going to be a pretty quiet downcast for me. My fiancé and I just about an hour ago had to put our 19-year-old cat to sleep. So you have to understand that it's probably a little tough.
Yeah.
So, going to be a little quiet this show. So
Yeah.
I turn it over to my talented and capable co-hosts for a lot of this show. Like Mr. Knobs, what have you been playing?
Nothing! No, I'm kidding.
Moving on.
Show over.
That's it. I'm out. Flip the table. Done.
Drop the ball in the worst
We had
way
354 good episodes.
possible. Yeah.
Gonna take my chips and go.
Yeah.
Alright. No, obviously, Monday Night Game Night. I might as well call it Battlefield Week gaming then at this point, because it seems like that's all we do as a group. We had another fun, exciting night on Monday Night Game Night. Just dumb conversations throughout the entire week. I think we got in a 2-hour discussion about nudicles. And
oh, Jesus.
As one
And
does.
well, apparently this was a very foreign procedure to some of the people in the group.
Ah.
So,
They don't get plastic surgery for their pets? Come on.
well, it's really not. It's more of a replacement part. Like you're just doing a hot swap for them. But no, it was it literally came into Toxic Joker. Thanks for being a good sport, man. And Maximus was another one. Like the first time these guys actually played Battlefield with our group, and they come into this, like,
Man.
to the point where we are just laughing hysterically the entire time.
I'm sure it's an entertaining topic.
It was,
discussed it on numerous times with my wife,
Well,
because some
no.
reality show she watches, one of the people on there got them for her dog.
Well, it came into you gotta eject, dude.
Yeah.
It came into the point where anyone joined the party, it turned into, hey, so and so, did you ever own a dog? And then it turned into the progression. Does he have all his bits? So did you get any replacement bits? And it just grew from there to the point where it was hysterical.
Wow.
And then that concurred into even today's gaming. Played a little bit of Battlefield with Scott. And we're just kind of laughing about how dumb we all are. And how inviting we are to new people, because we had a riot.
Because you have to get the stuff out of your brains and into somebody else's brains.
I don't even know how it started. But it turned into... I think it turned into Tom's was giving his dog a bath, and then it turned into, well, did you get all in the undercarriage? And then it turned into, does he have his bits? And then I interject, well, did you get any replacement bits? And
I zoned out for like the last 5 minutes, and I genuinely don't know what I just walked into.
Well, this is what happened. This is, you're reliving Friday night for us.
Man, what a hot
But
banger.
it was a. I finally got Tom Gamer's tags, now back on point. After 5 attempts trying to storm the island he was camping out on. But it was totally worth it because it recorded as a revenge tag grab, or what was it, tag payback, which I have a bunch of those. But anyway, Friday night outside the conversation, I was a monster. Oh man, I was rolling.
You get
big.
some of those monster crits.
Oh, dude, it was unreal. Like, I think the last round I was like 34-20, and I was like, I'm going to bed. I'm not topping this. I'm out.
Yeah, that's almost a 2-1, man. That's pretty great.
Oh, dude, I was just rolling in it, just rolling in the frags. But we were playing, I think, primarily. Now that was the last time we hit the locker, but I don't know. I'm back in the mix and mixing it up. Like I'll run it around the map like an idiot. I wish I got XP for how many steps I take, because I wish my character had a pedometer at this point, because I am running long distances.
Yeah.
And I don't know. There's something in that game, like Scott and I were kind of talking about today, that it isn't so much that the game is holding us there. It's the people we play with is the reason why we're playing so much of it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because none of us are really playing the game much on our own, except for that one weekend I was trying to power level to get more guns or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was. I mean, it is just. It's our social vehicle to have a good time and have dumb conversations like nudicles and stuff. But yeah, it's where we go to like hang out. It's like it's turned into our coffee shop. Like, we know at some point someone's going to sign on, or we'll see a random gamer tag or get killed by one of our guys, and then we're just like, oh, fine, get him in the party, get him in.
Nice, very nice.
And it's awesome, because I think a couple of us they're not on our friends list, but they're following us, so they can find us online, but they can't jump into like our party and stuff. But
oh, that's cool.
It's been it's an awesome experience. Like, I just wish we could get the party bigger. We had 8 people just sitting there screaming at each other all night about stupid stuff, and it was out of control in the best way possible. And I think that's what brings Battlefield, and then all of us trying to communicate and actually play the game correctly.
Yeah.
Like, there's a few times we've been on real crappy servers where one team is completely stacked. We ran into a group of guys where their lowest level guy was 163. Like, the entire 32 dudes on that team were 100 plus. The entire team. And man, were we getting rolled. I mean, I think one time they beat us by, I think we only killed them 65 times. Like, wow. They lost 65 tickets out of our 800. Like, it was bad.
Jeez.
But yeah, dude, it's been a riot, and just playing with new guns and whatnot, and trying to find out what's squirrely. The only thing that's really kind of weird is if you're hopping around a lot of servers. It seems like a lot of your loadouts are server specific. So if you switch to this server that you've never been on, all your stuff's reset. So then you gotta go. You spawn. You're like, where's all my gobbledygook and all my tchotchkes on my gun? Where is everything? And I gotta go back and reload it.
That's weird.
That seems like a really weird thing to keep server side. That seems like something that would be part of your save file locally.
I don't know if it's on the actual people setting up the servers that do this, because I got banned from a server because I used a DRM on one of the maps. Like, and like on their little placard it says no DRM, shotguns, or stingers. Like, that's an odd grouping. And I had a DRM and a shorty shotty on my equipment, and I killed the guy with the DRM, and then dude turned around the corner and I shot him with my shorty. And next thing you know, poof, I'm out. Yeah. I was like, well, that was quick.
Jeez.
But no, the game does something where it dangles that carrot on the stick so well in front of you, and you're always earning something. And also I also another thing I really enjoy is there's no rollover like in the Call of Duty, like the whole prestige thing, where you go back to 0 and just keep rolling to get other markings or whatever it is for it. That it seems like there's a cap. There's an actual end game to it. I think the level's like 170.
Okay.
That's kind of nice.
But yeah, I mean I think it's the problem they're starting to have with Titanfall is that everyone now is Gen 10.
Yeah.
And everyone has played the crap out of that game, and it seems like it's becoming more and more of a walled garden than anything else. That everything's been exploited. I haven't played it in a while, but I kind of itch to jump back into Titan and have some fun.
Nice.
Well, they keep putting out map packs and patches and stuff, so
Yeah.
there's new stuff at least.
There's been another great moment today in our battlefielding. We were with Maximus, Nintendork, and myself, and then one of his buddies came in, but we were playing DLC maps, and he didn't have them. He's like, yeah, it's like, every once in a while, like they do that one glitch where if you're laying down, a grenade doesn't kill you. I was like, really? That works? He's like, yeah, they've been trying to patch it out, but it seems like every time I try to do it, it doesn't work. And I'm like, oh. So then, of course, like clockwork, the opportunity comes for me to go prone in front of a grenade, and I totally borked it and didn't even come even close to laying down. I was like, I was trying to lay down. Oh, we couldn't go prone on it, but it was a good time. I do enjoy that game, and it seems like the more I'm playing it, the more I'm enjoying the gunplay. Because every gun has a decidedly different feel, which is amazing to me with how many weapons are actually in that game.
Yeah.
But there is something to be said about dropping down landmines everywhere, and then all of a sudden randomly, like, you get a vehicle kill. You're like, oh, that is so cool. It's like Donnie. Donnie, if he spawns, a Claymore's going right down. The first thing he does is drop a Claymore.
Nice.
And it seemed like on Friday night, Tomsy kept running into him all over the map. He's like, I don't understand this. Donnie's killed me like 7 times, and he's been on the other side of the map every time. Because he just keeps running into Claymores.
Nice.
I played a little bit more of Lego Marvel.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
I totally got sucked into that open world stuff, and I haven't progressed any further. I've been running around the city as Hawkeye and Black Widow for like 2 hours. Like, not doing anything but just collecting little studs everywhere.
Yeah.
Thankfully, at some point, it'll kind of stop you. It'll say, like, all right, you've run out of stuff. You need to play the normal stuff.
Come on.
Oh,
come on,
really?
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an interesting approach.
Yeah.
Sally forth. Get it done. Which I think I was right on the cusp of hitting that wall, and then I was like, I really want to go do something. I think I'm going to go watch a movie. But that's kind of where I've been on that game. And today I just downloaded Power Star Golf.
Ooh, I liked that.
That game's kind of cool. Like,
I've not heard of this.
even though I shot about as well as I would have shot in real life, like, I threw up an 89 my first round.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was 14 over par. No, 17 over par for my first round. And as a golf game, that's like, I'm disgusted with that. I don't know how it's possible to miss a 6-inch putt, but I left it short. Short.
I do that a lot in that game.
It was unbelievable. Like, the putting is like putting for me, putting in real life. Like, I just miss or lip out an edge or just one more roll, like half a roll of the ball and it's in. And like, stuff like that, like, okay, I can deal with that. But I haven't quite really figured out the nuances on the power meter yet. Because obviously the line's perfect. And it's your classic PGA Tour golf, like, 3-tap system, except for putting.
Yeah, which makes it really tough.
Oh, especially on short putts? Can you catch the bar on the way back down?
If I'm lucky.
Oh, because it just seems like, and then all of a sudden that bar starts going off your putter. You're like, what is that thing? What is happening? Like,
Where's that go?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Yeah.
But I do like a lot of the rings, like the distance shots, like when you get in and you break records. of your
Yeah.
friends list is
Nice.
really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it shows
Except-
you like shattering their old record. Like it has a really cool view on it.
Very cool.
like especially like with approach shots and longest putts, and it's really neat. Like I really enjoy that. I can see where the draw is and why people are playing a lot of that game. Except there's no online multiplayer in it at all.
Oh, that's
Like-
strange.
Like you're pretty much just playing the other marks. Like I enjoy that because it keeps getting you to move forward and move forward and move forward and get better at the game. But as far as a golf game, it is top notch. Like I'm really enjoying it.
Cool.
From my one round I played in it. Like just hopped in, didn't even check the tutorials or the buttons or what they do. Just started trying to hop in there and figure it out. So I'm still trying to figure out whether it's a slice if you stop before the line or after the line, or it's vice versa for the hook to try and bend the ball around things. But I don't even know if
I
that's...
don't remember. You might want to go through a tutorial because the controls were strange. It's not. It's kind of not Hot Shots Golf, and it's not Tiger Woods. It's this
Yeah.
other weird thing.
Yeah, and I was kind of apprehensive about picking it up to begin with because there has to be a new Tiger Woods PGA Tour X Legends Golf coming out or something
There should be
eventually.
one for 15. It's going to be PGA Tour 15. They took a year off because they wanted to put it on PS4 and Xbox One.
Cool.
That makes sense.
And now
So-
they have to get rid of all the Tiger stuff.
Tiger stuff. Well,
Yeah.
not like the man's at the top of his game right now. So,
That's true.
but it's a screwy game. Just on a sidebar, I think he's got the yips and a major confidence problem right now. So
Probably.
once he gets that back, it'll be fine. Because golf's one of those games you can kind of play forever. Anyway, but I really like the cartoony look of it. Like everything's real crisp and the ball lines are all real good. The reading the putts seems very intuitive, but I just need to get better at it. Like I just need to play more.
Yeah, it looks like a cool game. I'm checking out the art now. It looks very, very awesome.
It's pretty fun.
It is kind of wonky. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like it has a really cool like Pixar-ish feel of it.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
just it seems to fit, and and it's the little encouragement it gets you when you actually hit the perfect shot where you land straight in that bar. It gives you that little extra angle, and it just makes you feel like you did something cool.
And your
and I think
character
that-
celebrates.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that's been missing from the PGA games
Yeah.
for years.
Like that little touch of Hot Shots Golf.
Yeah. Just just sprinkle a little bit on. Sprinkle a little hot shots in there.
Yeah.
Like I still miss from Tiger Woods the Billie Jean shot where it just like that frame by frame of the swing.
I liked that.
That was one of my favorites. Or even just the little explosion around the ball, like the little nuclear bomb that would go. Like that was always my favorite little bits. Or do you remember the Happy Gilmore swing? Where's my guy? Oh, there he comes. He comes running off the screen and hits the
sprinting
ball.
at it. Yeah, I liked all that stuff.
I miss that stuff.
It's
and
a
it made
bummer
like,
they got rid of it.
it's those things that made the game a little extra fun for no reason because you're playing a video game golf game.
I mean, when you look at the trailer that they had for 15 from E3 this year, they had a battlefield map. I'm hoping that they're kind of bringing it back to that.
I hope so. It's like let these guys loose and have some fun.
Yeah.
It's you keep the mechanics. I mean, mechanics are what makes that game great.
Yeah.
And the only game that did it better was Lynx 04.
Yeah.
I mean, because Lynx was one of those games where you knew you were in a serious golf sim, and it really rewarded you from swinging on a good plane and judging the shot against the lie. And one of the few games that actually played like golf does. Like if you're on an angled plane and your stance is off, your ball is going to carry off and follow that side, but so you have to compensate for it. So you're almost aiming into the hill. And that was one of the only games that ever got that mechanic right. But neither here nor there. Like I love golf games, so this one will be around for a while.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
pretty great.
But that's pretty much all I played this week. How about you, Hannah?
Well, so I had a weird week. I was home all week just sitting in front of this computer working. And generally, when I end up doing that, I listen to a lot of either podcasts or audiobooks. And by Tuesday, I was out of podcasts. So I decided to pick up the Masters of Doom audiobook.
Oh, nice.
Which is phenomenal. If you don't know what it is, it's basically the story of id Software, of John Carmack and John Romero, and how all of that craziness played out. Listening to that all week inspired me to play a whole bunch of Quake and Doom. And not just any Quake. I had them both on Steam, and I loaded up Quake, and I'm like, this really looks terrible on this giant screen. All this code is
key.
Yeah. All this code is open source. I wonder what kind of mods are out there. They're not just mods anymore. You're talking full-on engine rewrites for these games.
Oh, yeah.
So I downloaded the Dark Places engine for Quake, and loaded that up for a little while. And I forgot how fast these games are. They're so quick. And most of these mods are like, yeah, you want run on all the time, right? You don't want to have to hold down shift to run, because I assume you're going to be running the whole time, correct?
Well, no, run's just an extra gear of even faster.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I played a bunch of Quake. Yeah, I forgot how crazy fast and fun that game was. I also decided to check out Brutal Doom with the Z-Doom mod. Oh, it's so violent.
It's really something else.
It's like imagine Doom and like what you like how violent you remember it, and crank that up to about 100. Crank it up to where Joe Lieberman thought it was.
Yeah, it's what your parents thought Doom was.
Yeah, it's exactly
based on the news stories.
Yeah, and it's really fun because the easiest level is basically God mode plus all of the enemies in the hardest difficulty. So you can just roll through, and like I turned on all the special effects and stuff. I actually slowed down my computer with this game. I was thoroughly impressed by that.
Wow.
It was a trip, man. But if you haven't read Masters of Doom and you're interested in how video games got from what they were in the 80s to what they are now, this is that story. This is how games got to where they are now. I know there were other game companies, but like id was the hotbed of popularizing the FPS, and Romero was the hotbed of bombastic marketing campaigns and crazy, huge egos on game designers.
Yeah,
and just hearing about like how him and Carmack working together in the beginning, and then like that, all of that falling apart, and Romero trying to be like, yes, design is law, and go out on his own with Ion Storm, and then getting basically ousted from his own company and one-upped by Warren Spector.
Yeah.
It's just such a great, like, it's this tale of hubris.
Yeah.
That you almost don't believe. But I can't believe how well Quake and Doom hold up. I can't believe it.
Yeah, especially Doom.
Yeah, especially with mods and stuff. Especially if you get like free look going and you just change the controls up a little bit. Like it controls smoother and better than a lot of modern FPS games do on PC.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that's the thing that preserves that legacy, and to have a game that's so loved that gets that detail of attention, because a mod for a game like that could be just terrible.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and a lot of them were back in the day, from what I remember.
Yeah.
They were just here's some different enemies.
Oh yeah, here's Barney. Great,
yeah, everyone had
thanks
Barney.
for that.
Yeah. But man, those, especially Quake looks gorgeous in the Dark Places engine. It's really, really good looking. And all these are actually really easy to put together. All you really need to do is like download the engine and grab like one file from the Quake directory in Steam, and you're in business with this crazy looking mod. And Brutal Doom, if you want to see like pure, unadulterated, insane violence, I actually did stream a little bit of it on over on Hitbox. I was trying out some different streaming sites, So hitbox.tv/thehannah. I don't know if the videos have appeared there yet. I might have to edit them and upload them, or offload them off to YouTube. But it was a lot of fun. It was real interesting, that's for sure.
Seems promising.
Yeah. I think Brutal Doom is going to be my new. I just need to blow off some steam because it's perfect for that.
Yeah.
In every manner, shape, and form.
Even regular Doom was like that. Like
it really was. Yeah.
It was such a like testosterone sapper. Like it just like all that rage just poured into the keyboard.
Yep,
and you're happy.
It certainly did. And I wonder if I'd be interested to see if we could possibly even get multiplayer going with that, because I'm sure that's absolute madness. Yeah, right.
We'll try that for Thursday night game night.
Dial up a Dwango server. I also played a little bit more Rogue Legacy. Not as much as I played last week, because my time was taken up with the Swapper.
Oh, yeah.
Which I played a whole ton of. So this is it's sort of like Dead Space, the puzzle game. It's like it's the feel of like being in outer space and alone, like Dead Space has, especially the first one. And it's all a bunch of puzzles using this item, this gun, basically called the Swapper. You can create clones of yourself and switch control of them over, like, between the different clones. And it's almost impossible to describe. Like, go on YouTube, look up some videos, and just you're solving puzzles with clones of yourself, and you're trying, and there's different like mechanics that prevent you from doing certain actions to make these puzzles really work. And some of them are thinkers. Some of you have to sit there and look at where you're at. You're just in this little area, and you have to figure out, okay, if I clone myself over here and take control of that clone and then move him over here, I'll be able to access this area and make a clone up here, but I can't take control of him, so I'll have to move back so he can hit the switch, and then I'll have to make another clone once that door opens, and then I don't know what to do from there because I can't see anything else.
Sounds a lot like Oddworld.
Yeah, I think it's in a similar vein. I haven't played a whole ton of Oddworld, but it's very much, it's a 2D puzzle platformer that has this kind of dread building ambiance. I can barely describe the mood. It's very surreal almost, and very kind of spooky. Hence the comparison to Dead Space. But the last
I don't think they would call Dead Space spooky.
Well, it's
Scooby-Doo is spooky.
Scooby-Doo isn't spooky. Let's get that out of the way right away. Scooby-Doo's not spooky. It's funny.
It's quirky. Let's be honest.
There you go. And
sorry,
Beans Fury in chat says all of the backgrounds are handmade with clay and everyday objects, which is really interesting, actually. I did not know that about the Swapper. The last game I played this week, though, was Remastered. I finally sat down and played a decent amount of this game. I kind of like it. I'm not going to say for sure that I absolutely love it. I find the combat a little frustrating at times.
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing it on easy at the moment.
That's the best choice.
Yeah. I love the art. I love the enemy designs. I love the world. The story's going great, if a bit predictable in the beginning.
Yeah.
It was sort of like, oh, well, yeah, I know why they want to get it. I know why they need to smuggle Ellie. Duh.
Yeah.
And
saw that one coming.
Yeah, they're like they telegraph. There's a bunch of story beats that they telegraph from like a mile away. I'm waiting for the story to wow me because I've been promised that it will. But so far it's been sort of like, oh yeah, no, they're handling it really well. If I wasn't so well versed in pop culture and
Movies
these sorts
in
of
general.
stories, yeah. I feel like I'd have a better time with it. If I were the type of person that didn't play these kinds of games constantly, I think I'd be kind of a little more behind it. But at the moment, I'm sort of like, yeah, it's a good game. It's really, the storytelling, the acting are really well done. The controls and everything are great. I just find it really frustrating when I get one hit killed by one of those clickers.
Yeah.
that really takes me out of the whole
It
game.
gets old real quick.
Yeah.
Is the clicker
Well,
the one that has their brain flayed out?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And other than that, it's really good because you can do something about the other enemies. Like you can, fend them off. You can punch them. You can hit them. But if a clicker gets a hold of you and you don't have a shiv, you're done.
Well, no, I love the sound the clicker makes too.
Oh
Fun.
yeah, it's pretty creepy. It's pretty horrifying.
Yeah.
Does it sound like Mr. Crazy Legs from Mimic? A little click, 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 click. Oh, you probably don't even know.
No,
that.
it makes this weird, almost like this clicking sonar noise. It's like tick, 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 tick. Like it's just this really creepy noise because there's a part pretty early on where they put you in the dark, so you have a lot of trouble seeing stuff, and they can hear you really well.
Yeah.
So and there's like 5 of them, and you can kill them pretty easily if you sneak up on them.
Yes.
But it's just this harrowing thing because you can see them walking in front of you, and you know they can't see you, but it's still that noise is just like piercing your brain. It's pretty scary.
And I like the fact that they're blind, so you can still have your light on.
Yeah.
But then there's a lot of times there will be regular just runners around, and they can see. So if you have your light on and you're following a clicker with your light on, they will see you.
Yeah. That was one of my biggest problems in that game was the fact that it had combat. It's just like Uncharted, where that's not the part that's the most fun, and it kind of hurt that game.
And I found that like the more I try, I have the habit of like if I'm in a game, it's like not explicitly stealth, and this sort of is, sort of isn't. But I kind of want to kill everything. I want to make sure everything's gone so that there's nothing behind me. I don't want something coming from behind me. It's just basic strategy.
Survival horror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I oftentimes like I can't because I either don't have enough bullets because I'm a terrible shot, or I don't have enough items to craft a new shiv to take out one of these clickers. So I just sort of have to leave it.
Well, wouldn't it be more like the way we've been conditioned to play games is this sweep and clear?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
We're always like we have to kill everything before we move on to the next room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing about The Last of Us that I think works really well in its favor is you don't have anything. Like when you pick up bullets, you get 2. Like you don't pick up this magazine canister and you pick up 300 to fill your machine gun. Like you have a pistol, and if you have a full clip, you're doing pretty okay.
Yeah.
So like you have to build shivs out of stuff in the environment. Like he doesn't just have a knife for some reason. That would kind of make more sense.
Yeah.
But it's the kind of thing where it's like you can clear out a room of all these enemies, but are you going to hamper yourself in the next room when you run into something else? So it's kind of this balancing act that I think sometimes worked pretty well for it.
Yeah. I one moment I had where I almost put down the controller was when you and Ellie escape to a subway, and there's a bunch of water around, and she can't swim. And I nearly, just preemptively went, no, I'm not doing Emma Emmerich in MGS2 again. I'm not doing this. I refuse. That's horrible. And then they actually solved that whole problem pretty elegantly. I thought they handled it really well. Gameplay-wise. Instead of having to, drag her underwater, you sort of ferry her across on a raft.
Yeah.
But it took a while to find the raft, and sort of... It's a bit of an exploratory game. You have to be willing to sort of go out and explore and take risks, because otherwise you're not going to find your next path.
Yeah, there's a lot of times in that game where they dump you in an area and they're like, okay, we need to get all the way over there, but we need to get down first. And the game just kind of lets you go, and it's like, so what
nothing?
do I do?
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice.
It is.
Is it one of the games that give you all the tools for your successor in the world? They just don't highlight them with big yellow bold outlines.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's you'll have to climb down or climb up an area, and it's not like Uncharted where follow the white or the yellow lines up this 200-year-old castle. It's nothing like that, which kind of makes it a little bit more interesting, a little tougher, but At least it's not sort of flashing this green arrow, just being like go, 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 like an old arcade game or something.
For sure. So while I don't necessarily, I like the story. I think it's it's a good framework. The way they tell it is really where it's at with this game.
Yeah.
It's not about the actual story. It's about the characters. It's about the interactions between all of them. And I actually stopped right before I got to a really interesting part. I won't go into spoilers and all that, but something kind of crazy happened, and I was let's just say I was hanging upside down for a little while, and got right after that part, and ended up finishing out the afternoon by watching Hot Fuzz with my little brother.
Nice.
Yeah. So, but I'm actually really liking The Last of Us. I think it'll get better story-wise. I think I'll like it more once I get past this stuff where I'm kind of like, yeah, I saw that coming.
Yeah.
Because that seemed like that was just the setup. And now I'm getting into the actual meat of the game. So, but yeah, gameplay is not its strongest suit, but it's not the weakest thing. It's not the worst. Like, it's not Resident Evil.
Yeah, it's
1.
not unplayable.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, I'm controlling a tank. Like, the controls are fine. I have no issue with that. I've never been huge on one-hit kills, and
well, it's kind of another cover-based third-person shooter.
Yeah,
like it's sort of.
I haven't played one in a while, so
yeah,
I'm kind of okay with that.
You've played a bunch already.
Yeah,
that was kind of my attitude. We're sort of like, well, okay, I guess.
Yeah, but let me tell you, that game is gorgeous. I posted on Facebook today because I got to a point where I was just outside and like it was just the forest, and I had to utilize the photo mode and just sit there for 10 minutes tweaking values and get a nice sky shot. And of course, I thought I had set it up just right. I still got a little bit of Joel's shoulder in the lower right hand corner. I was like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
I like this. This whole thing about games having photo modes in it. I think that's, Infamous in that last patch they had put it in. This has it. I think that's a really cool thing. I'd like to see more developers do that.
I want to see. Yeah, now that I've read Masters of Doom, I want to see Carmack's implementation of that. Because he'll do something insane with it.
He'll write it in 2 lines.
Yeah.
Done. And then give it away for free.
Yeah, UI and all.
Yeah, exactly.
He's great. The more I listen to, the more I read that book. It's just go read Masters of Doom.
Yeah, if anyone really likes programming or is kind of interested in how deep that rabbit hole goes, you should watch some of his keynotes.
Oh my god, the QuakeCon keynotes are the best.
Yeah, it's just full on. Here's how I write code.
Yeah, I can make sense of I think I've improved over the years. It used to be I could make sense of about 30% of it. I think I'm up to like 42%.
Yeah.
Where I can go, oh yeah, I know what that means. But he is insanely smart.
Yeah.
And it's just, man, he's great. But that's pretty much all I played this week.
I played a poop ton of Rogue Legacy.
Nice.
I finally beat the first playthrough. I was way over leveled at level 100.
Nice.
So it was incredibly easy to finish. I originally was going to go for platinum in the game because there's not that many trophies. But man, I just don't want to beat the optional bosses. I realized this week that they give you you don't bring your character into them. They give you a set character with, skills and equipment and loadout and all that. So there's really one way to beat it. But the first boss, I know how to beat it. It's just the level of kind of pixel perfect accuracy that I need to execute that boss is not really something that I think I'm finding enjoyable.
Yeah.
I'd rather go through and beat the game a second time and get some of the other dumber trophies and some of the hidden ones. I don't think I'll go for platinum on that one because it seems like something I'll just beat my head against without having any fun.
Yeah.
So, not really.
Right.
I'm actually having a bunch of trouble finding the entrance door for the boss of the forest area.
Yeah, that one's usually a little weird.
Yeah.
So have you been using the architect?
Not a lot. I've used him a couple of times.
Yeah,
Should I maybe be using him a lot?
that's my real secret for that game is try and if you're kind of done with an area and maybe you're a little bit over leveled,
Yeah.
try and find the boss door and then
Okay.
use the architect to lock down the castle over and over and over again, and so you get the class that really works well for you for that boss.
Okay.
Like I always go for Hokage or Barbarian, just because the Barbarian has so much health, and the Hokage does so much static damage.
Yeah.
At that point, you can, without having to go through the whole castle and kind of run the risk of dying up, getting to the boss, you can just teleport right to the boss and then fight it. So,
Yeah.
sure, you lose, 40% of your gold, but that doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So, that'd be that's how I kind of, you're not really gaming the system, but you're kind of using your tools to make your life a lot easier.
Yeah, and you can sort of offset the gold loss by buying that one skill.
Yeah.
In the what I don't even know what they call that thing. The keep.
Mana.
Yeah, the manor.
Yeah. Well, and also when you start your second playthrough, you're getting so much money. There's a new type of money drop, that little diamond that gives you 900 gold.
Oh, nice.
So you're just, I mean, it's a ridiculous amount of money at that point.
Very
so
cool.
It's not even a big deal. So I kind of forgot how hard New Game Plus is, and it goes up to +7, which I thankfully won't be doing.
Ooh.
So I'm kind of beating my head against a brick wall with New Game Plus, trying to level up a little bit, get some better gear. The second half of the gear pages are only available in New Game Plus. So you can't even really gear up a bunch on sort of the regular game before you move on. So, but it's still fun. So I've been playing a ton of that. I haven't yet hit 20 hours for that trophy, but I feel like I'll probably do that pretty soon.
Yeah.
And the only other game I played this week, because I was a man on a mission, was I platinumed Tomb Raider.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That was quick.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time playing that game. I got to give props to two peeps from the community, CWB Limeade and Troy in a Bed in AM.
Nice.
Both of them helped me farm my final online trophy. Because the community died promptly as soon as I talked about the game on this show.
Oh, really?
So basically, I had 2 copies of the game, 2 PS4s, and then they hopped in, and that was enough people to create a ranked match. And then basically I just shot 8 of them, and then I got the trophy. So super thanks to them. That was the only one that I had to boost. Because I had tried for about 4 days and there were no games. Nevertheless, games that I could easily win.
Yeah.
So finished all the multiplayer stuff. You have to purchase everything. You have to level up completely. You have to win a match on every map. I mean, it's an incredible amount of stuff. And then a lot of stuff you have to do in game that things like shoot an enemy off of a zip line.
Yeah.
Which sounds really easy because it's really easy in single player, but halfway through their health, they just fall off of the zip line.
So you have to headshot them?
Well, either headshot them or wait for when they come to the bottom and then just blast them with a shotgun, which I did, and that was incredibly satisfying because that dude had no idea I was there. Just a lot of weird trophies like that. Really a good reason for companies not to have multiplayer trophies. Because sometimes they're not that exciting. Like, kill 20 people with a mounted gun. Okay, there's 2 maps out of the 13 that have a mounted gun. So that's, my chances are pretty slim.
That's not even it's not an achievement at that point. It's just checking things off a list.
And that's pretty much what was a little bit, not frustrating about those, but kind of disappointing, where it's like, okay, like I didn't have to do anything. I just get them eventually. Like one of them is survive 10 explosions. You'll just get that eventually. Like
Yeah.
that's not even crazy. So, but then I played through the single player again and got kind of the last couple trophies. So, I joined the other 0.7% of people that have played that game that have gotten platinum.
Nice.
Because apparently I'm a crazy person.
You are the 0.7%.
I really am. I am the 0.7% of suckers. But you know, who was it? The other Jay-Z sent me a message on PS4 the other day saying, you know, I remember when getting achievements wasn't a chore. And I thought that was interesting because I'm still doing that because I have fun with it. And also, like, I don't have any money to buy games right now. So, like, I bought Tomb Raider for $40, and I got a platinum out of it in probably, like, 50 hours. So,
Nice.
I mean, I did okay with my cash. So no one really has a gun to my head to get platinums in all these games. Thankfully. Because I'd probably be dead by now. I'd fail Rogue Legacy. But that's all I've been playing. So let's take a break.
All right.
Oh, man.
I love the Battlefield talk is spewed over into the chat now.
Wonderful.
Oh, Hannah, did you put the Game Club recap up on the Dropbox?
I've been meaning to chop the first little bit off of it and put it up there. I haven't had time.
Okay. If you don't have time to chop it up, just throw it up in there. I'll clean it up.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna get to it Friday. I'm gonna get to it Saturday. Oh, where did Saturday go? Oh, all right.
Yeah.
It was one of those.
Yeah, Saturday was a weird day.
Saturday was a weird day, but a really good day because me and a few of my buddies started planning our trip to Penny Arcade Expo next year.
Nice.
We're either going to road trip or flying out to Seattle and do it up. And it's going to be a blast. And you guys should go too. What's the drive to Seattle from you, Boston?
Like 30 hours.
Yeah, it's
Seriously?
Yeah, it's
because it's all
incredible.
coastal.
Oh yeah, it's the whole length of the state. Well, it's the length of the country.
Yeah, yeah, basically. Yeah, it's not a fun drive. My fiance and I were thinking about going up there for our honeymoon at the end of the year, but there's gonna be too much snow.
Yeah.
So we'll wait until. That's what happens when you get married in November. That.
November rain.
Yeah.
Waka waka.
Probably no in this place.
For sure.
Well, I'm sure you guys are dying for some rain.
We had some the other day, and it helped a little bit, but...
Nice.
I don't know, some of those maps they keep posting and those aerial photos are just terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Like, it seems like you're living in a tinderbox.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's pretty...
Alright. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Let me pull up show notes real quick here.
Get rid of some of these news stories here.
Yeah.
Do that. Okay. Alright, I'm ready.
Oh, shit.
All
Ready?
right.
You ready, Hannah?
Yeah.
Oh, settle down, you crazy fuck.
What?
What? Yes, hi, both of you. Anyways, you could just see the tips of his ears, like right there. Like, douche. Alright, ready in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. We got releases this week for the week of August 11th, 2014. Disgaea 4, The Promise Revisited for the PlayStation Vita.
I don't. I never played Disgaea 4, so I might check this out. I like the idea of playing Disgaea where I don't have it on a TV and I can just kind of watch a movie while I'm grinding in that game.
Yeah.
What Promise is Revisited?
I have no idea about what the story. It's usually a pun for the title, bless you, of the game before it.
You okay there?
I am now
painting. So usually it's a pun on the title. So I think Disgaea 4 came out on PS4. So it's probably a pun on the title of that game.
Okay.
I'll look it up.
I'd be interested to see what they do with the controls on the Vita, because I really wish they would do some touchscreen stuff with Disgaea.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. Let me know how that goes.
Disgaea 4's original subtitle was A Promise Unforgotten. So, there you go.
Wah wah. Alright, and Ho Ho Cum. Ho Ho Cum?
Ho-Ho-Cum, I've heard it's pronounced.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, that comes out for the PlayStation 3, the Vita, and the PS4.
It looks a lot like screenshots from, what was that? Loco Roco?
Yeah.
It looks like a very similar art style.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to news stories here. I didn't have time to write anything here, so let's do it live. One of my favorite open world games, if not my favorite open world game, Sleeping Dogs, is coming to the PS1, Xbox One, and PS4. Not the PS1.
I want it on the
Xbox
PS1.
4.
It's the X4. I want one of the Xbox 4.
Yeah, I'll take the Xbox 4. That thing sounds pretty great. Still has Kinect, though. Kind of surprise. So coming to both those platforms in October, it's going to be $60. It includes all the DLC and allegedly contains all the kind of graphical improvements that the PC version had.
Nice.
If you haven't played Sleeping Dogs, please, baby Jesus, pick this up. Baby Jesus asks you, please go do that. This is one of the best open world games that you're going to play. Knobs. Pick up a PS4 at the same time.
Yeah, do it. Do it.
So I know a lot of people are kind of upset that it's $60, but in probably a month or two, you can get that for less than $40. Like,
and
that's
also,
not going to be a big deal.
The sheer volume of DLC you're getting with the game, I don't know if people understand how much DLC came out for that game.
Do you
There's so much
Do you want to
game.
dress up like the dude from Just Cause 2 and fire his hook gun? That comes in it.
You can do that.
I love the hook gun.
Would you like a golden gun? That's in it too.
Yep.
Would you like an entirely new island that consists primarily of Chinese ghost folklore? That's also in there.
Yep.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Do I get to go after Li Pang?
Do not know that reference.
Maybe
Big
not.
Trouble in Little China?
There's a lot of stuff in there that seems eerily like that movie.
Yeah, there really is.
Yeah.
Lo Pan. Dang it! I messed it up.
There it is.
Really, if you just
we'll fix it in post.
Yeah, if you just want to drive on the left, like do it. That's the best.
Yep.
It's awesome. Yeah.
On the left.
Yes.
Everything you own in a box to the left. Yep.
All right, next news story, speaking of stupid. California man sues Sony over Killzone's 1080p graphics claims. So what this complaint leverages is that the game's packaging features a 1080p HD video output logo on the back of the box, and Sony promised 1080p single and multiplayer graphics. The game does not play in full 1080p in multiplayer. Standard 1080p is 1920 by 1080. This runs in 960 by 1080. Which, at the end of the day, who really cares?
Wait, this guy's way too much free time.
It runs in, it sounds like he's talking about split screen. Because 960 is half of 19, isn't it?
Yes. And that's how a lot of developers will get around some CPU and GPU intensive stuff. You know, when companies will run stuff in 900p instead of 1080p, and then your TV and console just kind of scales it up automatically. They got around some issues in multiplayer by basically cutting that stuff in half. Beans Fury is correct in chat, and he's suing for $5 million.
What?
Yeah, it's...
Why does that affect him that it would cost $5 million?
He's looking to get a class action lawsuit because it's false advertising. This is pretty incredible.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, I had to talk about this because it's just... It's the craziest and the most. I know a lot of people like to make fun of, the McDonald's spilled coffee on her legs lady, which,
Yeah.
by the way, if you think that's a joke, you might want to go look up the pictures of what happened to that lady and the actual story, because
Yeah.
it really wasn't her fault, and she got messed up real bad.
Yeah.
But this is frivolous at best, and at worst,
Comical.
a waste of a lot of people's money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah. Moonpier says everyone wants to flip out about Resolution Gate, but then someone does this and everyone calls it stupid. LOL. Yeah, but a lot of Resolution Gate is this game looks really great at 720p. Why isn't it at 1080p? But no one's gonna go like, okay, Microsoft, I'm gonna sue you because you said your console was gonna be 1080p. Who cares? Who cares about any of this? Does my game run smoothly? That's all I care about anymore. Does it give me a headache because of choppy frame rate? Whatever. I'd like my racing games to be 60 frames. Well, it's not always going to be.
It's not always possible.
Yeah.
Yet.
Yet. Let's move on to the next crazy news story here. Justin.tv, the parent company of Twitch.tv, is gone. And so are all of your videos. This happened on Friday very suddenly.
Yeah.
And by very suddenly, I mean you went to the site and it was gone. And the fact on the beginning of the page said, yeah, all of your videos are gone too. See you later. Please use Twitch if you're using games. If not, I don't care.
Wow.
Was pretty much their question and answer.
That's
As part of it, Twitch has Justin.tv is the original company, has rebranded themselves, if I remember correctly, Twitch Entertainment LLC. So they're really kind of doubling down on the Twitch name and the Twitch branding here. Justin.tv was not doing anything for them, to be fair. But that doesn't necessarily mean that people wake up and the site is gone. That seems poor communication, which moves right into our next news story about whatever Twitch is doing. Where basically they are flagging, not live, but video-on-demand videos for matching copyrighted music. And then not keeping your recorded videos forever. They're keeping your highlights forever. And no highlights that are longer than 2 hours can be saved. Which, originally I was like, well, that doesn't seem too bad. And then Cosmo Wright, the famous Zelda speedrunner, was like, yeah, but I stream, like, some speedruns are like 8 hours. So I can't keep these anymore. And you're making it hard to export to YouTube. And then if I do highlight it, you might bust me for copyright violation for music in the game. Which there was an AMA with the CEO of Twitch on Friday.
Oh, how did I miss that?
Yeah, it was really interesting. What I thought was really interesting is he actually continued to answer questions. And as the AMA continued, he kind of realized, I think, that his community really hurt a lot of people by not communicating correctly.
Yeah, or in advance in any way.
Yeah, so they're now backpedaling on some of this stuff, but to kind of cap this off, actually Beans Fury in chat says we had a video flagged/muted for using in-game music, which Twitch says will never happen. But Twitch got their last Twitch Weekly video flagged for copyrighted music. So when
great.
The horrible thing is about this muting,
that's phenomenal.
is it doesn't mute wherever it finds the music. It mutes 15 minutes on each end. So half an hour of your video is completely muted.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's really, really bad. So Hitbox.tv, who honestly has a way better site and seems to have a way better monetization policy, very quickly put up a blog post that said, switch from Twitch, and laid out everything that you can do to get up and running on their site. And sure, their site got hammered a little bit, but they seem to have a pretty great, for now, they seem to have a pretty great service.
Yeah,
Until they get big enough, and then this has to be a problem for them.
I did actually use Hitbox this weekend. Not a lot, but I did stream some of my Brutal Doom playthrough, and it went okay. The first stream I tried to do 1080p. It didn't really work, but then I knocked it down to 720, and it seemed okay.
720 is a real sweet spot. 1080p is a little too hard on internet connections.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is really interesting for Twitch, and I think Twitch has always had this policy that you cannot play copyrighted music in your shows, because there are so many people that are just going to be that are probably still playing World of Warcraft or playing Minecraft, and they're sitting there and they're just playing stuff from their MP3 collection.
Yeah.
Or they're just gone and they're like going to get lunch and they're just sitting there and watching anime in the corner. Like it's very clear copyright violations. And I can tell that Twitch is trying to tamp down on that stuff, because as they continue to get bigger and bigger, the music companies are going to come and say like, well, you have someone that's just playing our albums for free nonstop. That's all their channel is. And
what if it's the radio?
Well, and I think that's interesting, because that would probably fall under it too.
Really, like, I'm using a free streaming service and using a free a double down on the streaming service, and oh wait, how can you prove that wasn't like Pandora playing?
I think when it comes to the music labels, I think you have to play it as safe as possible and say like, no, they weren't authorized to redistribute or broadcast that music, blah 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 blah. So just to kind of appease those companies. So
yep.
It's kind of crazy, and I get why Twitch is doing it. It's just, you have to communicate. You have to have the bear, and then their response. Everyone's questions are basically, why should I stay with Twitch? Like, if you're gonna do this and you're gonna hurt my videos, and for a lot of people like Cosmo Bright, they're living, because they make a living off of subscriptions, donations, YouTube watches, monetization, all this stuff. They legitimately make a living on this. Their question is, why should I stay with Twitch? And Twitch, unfortunately, is kind of being cute and just being like, we have some great stuff coming down the pipe pretty soon, so keep an eye on that, winky face. And it's like,
that's
no,
not
you
good
need
enough.
to come out and say what that is.
Yeah.
Because if you have something big down the pipe, even if it's months down the pipe right now, you need to keep people there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, interesting. I think we'll see here pretty soon how that will go. And last quick news story we have here is EA Access, we talked about it last week, the Xbox One exclusive EA subscription plan. Actually, EA announced this week you do not need an Xbox Live Gold subscription to use EA Access.
Oh, that's
really
interesting.
A pleasant surprise. So, good on you, EA and Microsoft. That's the opposite of what I think I would have expected out of that.
Yeah, that whole EA Access thing sounds really strange to me, though. I don't know what.
It sounds like a really good deal, so something has to be wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm so suspicious of EA because of their EA.
Well, and I saw someone posted a question. There was like this big Q&A with EA late last week. And someone's like, well, what happens to my games if I'm no longer a subscriber? And they're like, well, you don't have them anymore. It's like any subscription plan. And the next question was, well, what happens to my saves? Can I just like get rid of the plan and then come back 6 months later and pick up on the game? And they said yes. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's not what I expected. So good.
All right.
So it seems like they're making the right choices. It's so unexpected.
I'm still suspicious.
I don't know what to do.
I'm still suspicious. I will never stop being suspicious of EA.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, let's move on to tweets here. This person's username is Mr. Howard123, writes in, if people don't want another version of SF4, don't buy it. Let us that want it enjoy it. No sense of complaining about it. We weren't really complaining about it. I think we were more kind of reminiscing about the Street Fighter 2 days. I actually think Capcom has done a really great job with Street Fighter 4, and I think it's something that even, kind of our favorite company, Arc System Works, could even pick up something from. If you have the original vanilla Street Fighter 4, you can get all the way up to Ultra by just buying DLC.
Which is great.
And I think that's a really smart choice, because if, let's say I'm John Q, Street Fighter fan, and I see that there's all these cool new characters and all this cool new stuff that's in Ultra, and I look at Ultra and it's what, $40, something like that. I don't think it's 60. I think it's 40.
Yeah, I think they've been doing that since forever. Anytime they re-release it, it's always 40. Yeah.
So either you can buy all this DLC to get you there, or if you have Super, get you to where you need to go, or buy this brand new version. So I actually really appreciate what Capcom's done, because they give you all these options. Like, if you want Ultra, to get to Ultra really cheap, buy a used copy of Super and then buy all the DLC. They've given you a lot of avenues, and honestly, us making fun of Capcom is kind of like glass houses, because there are at least a BlazBlue game every year. So, we're not. It's more playful ribbing than it is like, oh, Capcom, how dare you?
I'm just like, my big thing is they spend so much time on the Street Fighter franchise, and they have such a legacy and a history that they've been ignoring in the past, 5 years?
Yeah.
I would say. I want more Capcom outside of Street Fighter more than anything.
Yeah, I think when you look at Capcom, I think Street Fighter 4 is the first time they've gotten it right in a really long time.
Yeah.
So I think if I was Capcom, I would probably follow Street Fighter 4 to its logical conclusion and then say, okay, how can we do this with Resident Evil? How can we do this with Lost Planet? How can we do this with some of our other franchises that maybe haven't gotten the love that they necessarily need? And when you look at Capcom, the rumor right now is they're remaking Resident Evil 1 again.
I almost banged my head against my desk.
If you want to make fun of something, that's really the one, because it will likely be a remake of Resident Evil 0, which was a remake of an original game.
Yeah.
So I think it's easy to make fun of Capcom for being Capcom, but they've done the right thing with SF4 pretty consistently, and given the community, at least from what I hear as not being a super Street Fighter fan, giving the community kind of what they're really looking for in those games.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. Well, it's the same. Like, I got in that argument with not really an argument with Sean. Sean asked me if I was picking up the new Street Fighter game. I was like, dude, the game has got me twice already. It's not happening again.
Yeah. If you tried it twice, it's still not for you. We're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next tweet from X2 High X. With Dragon's Crown, I got the PS3 version. When I went back to PSN, I saw the Vita version came up for free also, so check it out again. I think once the PS Plus stuff went up, Atlas sent out an email that was like, hey, don't forget, if you get it over here, it's cross-buy, so you get it over there for free too. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Go get it. You get it twice. So you still have a month to go get that. This month's PlayStation Plus is pretty good. Fez is on there.
Mm-hmm.
Road Not Taken, that brand new game, is on there for PS4. Yeah. There's some pretty good stuff on there.
Absolutely.
Many Derek wrote, maybe too late for this episode, but I'm jealous of Monday Night Game Night with Knobs on Xbox One. Was wondering if anyone wants to start a PS4 game night. You should. Because that sounds like a good idea.
I'd try to hop on that.
Yeah. Spread the PS4 love. Why not?
Well, get the community organizer on it.
There you go. All right, and we only have one email this week from Sean, a.k.a. Toxic Joker. It says, hey guys, I have a few questions for you this week. My first question is semi-complicated. I'm huge into achievements in gaming. I want to start enjoying games more without worrying about doing every nook and cranny. Yeah. Also, it's getting in the way of me wanting to purchase a Wii U because there's no achievement/trophy system in it. So is there any advice you can give that would help me break this habit?
You have to hit your breaking point to the point where you don't care anymore.
Where they don't mean anything.
Yeah.
Like, I know getting a platinum doesn't mean anything. Do I feel happy when I go to my PS4 dashboard and it says 6 platinum trophies? Yeah. But if it's going to be something that I'm going to spend 400 hours just to get a bronze trophy, I think I'm probably okay.
Yeah, I would say turn all your notifications off because you get rid of that little reward that it gives you, that little sound and the little display. I stopped playing for achievements once I realized games had multiplayer-only achievements, and I was like, that's dumb.
Moonpier has a good rule of thumb here. Play for fun, then go for achievements after.
Yeah.
That's what I like to do. Just go play the fun. Don't worry about, like, okay, for my first playthrough, I have to follow this guide exactly so I can get all this. You've kind of already defeated
you've ruined
the
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, go through and play, like, I could have gone through Tomb Raider the first time and gotten all those trophies. But I kind of didn't want. I just wanted to enjoy the ride. You know, you don't get to see. It's like riding Space Mountain with the lights on. You don't. You're losing something. You know, like it's defeating the purpose. The same thing with that. Like, unless you're playing Nier, which is the only game that when you finish it completely, it deletes your save file. Then you can play it again and get the rest of the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know that about Nier, by the way.
If you get like the best ending at the end, for some story reason that I don't know because I've never finished Nier. Apparently, as soon as the credits are done, it just your game is over. It deletes your save file.
Wow. I kind of want to do that now.
Yeah.
That's bananas.
Well,
that's like performance art.
Well, apparently it's kind of a gut punch because of whatever happens in the story. At that point, it's just sort of like, I can't go back.
Well, talk about making it a permanent experience.
Yeah, totally. And to get back to that point, you have to play it 3 times again. It's not an incredibly long game, but, long enough.
That's messed up.
My next question is, what is the one video game purchase you still regret to this day?
Guilty Gear Asuka.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something other than Asuka.
Day 1 Assassin's Creed 3.
Ugh, yeah, that one was rough for me too.
Yeah, that was really hard. That ruined that series for me for a solid year.
Oh, Revelations ruined that one for me.
I liked Revelations.
3
is the only one I haven't liked. I'm weird.
Yeah.
Oh man, no. I got one. I lost it. Yeah, it's gone to the ether.
Bullet Witch, maybe, for the 360? That game is just a pile.
Yeah.
The game looked like so much fun, too.
Yeah, it could have been real cool. And then we got Bayonetta, so everything was fine. By the way, for those that are interested in Bayonetta, watch Nintendo's coverage of Bayonetta 2 from Comic-Con. They had a dude who's like some guy that's crazy good at Bayonetta play through Bayonetta 2 to try and get a bunch of pure platinum trophies. And not only seeing that game, but seeing someone who's legitimately amazingly great at Bayonetta is kind of an experience.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Moonpier.
I'm trying to think of...
Go ahead.
I was still trying to figure out any real major thorns in my side from buying. Viking was one.
Viking wasn't terrible, but it could have been really great.
Yeah.
Oh, for me, maybe Golden Axe Beast Rider.
Oh, that was bad.
Had a really cool style and a really cool idea, nearly unplayable.
Wow.
Yep.
That was another one that Play Magazine, before I figured out their bias, kind of bit me. I was like, God, they seem so excited about it. This has got to be great. Nope.
I don't know. I think we kind of got a little bit of Stockholm Syndrome with Toe Jam and Earl 3. This is great, right? This is great. We love this. This is the best thing we've ever played.
This is the best thing ever.
This is great. I'm so happy I'm playing this.
I saw somebody on Giant Bomb played that a couple weeks ago, and watching it, I'm sort of like, yeah, it's a 3D Toe Jam and Earl 1, and it's not good or funny or funky.
Yeah.
Kind of missed all of the points of the first game. Moonpeer in chat asks a question. Most time you've put into a game and not understood it. Inspired by playing BF4 with Donnie right now and him not reading the screen.
Oh, man. Oh, that's a good one. Right now, I wouldn't say it's the most time I've put into a game, but I really don't understand what's happening in the swapper. There's some weird, like, I think probably metaphysical stuff happening and philosophical stuff happening in the story that it's just going straight over my head.
For me, as much as I really liked it, Dragon's Dogma at times, where people are like, "Oh, you totally need to use this thing to go to that other place for this thing," and I was just like, I've been playing this for 50 hours and I have no idea any of those words that you just said.
You know what? No, I got it. Guilty Gear. I still don't know what I'm doing in that game. Like, I
Does
know
anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Gun Valkyrie.
Oh, yeah,
Especially watching
why were those
Knobs
bugs
play it.
there?
Well, mostly watching Knobs play it and just sort of being like, okay, I don't know how you did all that, but that looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, that should be a game I should live stream.
Yeah.
You should see if you can set that up.
I think that'd be really cool to people really understand how that game really mechanically moves and why am I fighting this baby angel thing at the end of it? Like,
it's... Beans Fury on chat said, I'd say Bayonetta. I played through over half of it before I knew I could craft power-ups. Yeah, that game could be a little obtuse every once in a while. It's like, why do I need to gather all of these golden records? Oh, because it unlocks stuff. Oh, wait, I'm turning into a panther? What's going on? And
yeah, the panther threw me for a loop.
Well, there's so many items in that game that changes the way that Bayonetta herself moves completely. And you're like, oh, I'll just equip this gourd-looking thing. Oh, now I can't dodge? But something else seems weird. You know, like, it's just... That game's crazy. Man.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all the tweets and emails we have. You can visit us at tvgp.tv, tweet us at tvgp, email us tvgpfans@gmail.com, and everything else is on the right-hand side of the page.
And come join us on the forums. Don't forget to mark yourselves on the map. Join us for our various game nights. Monday night game night is Battlefield 4 on the PlayStation 4.
Oh, wah, wah.
Nope, it's on the Xbox One, folks. Sorry.
It's on the big one.
It's on the big one.
The big yellow's one's the sun.
Yeah. Don't stare at it too long. Anyway, Thursday night game night, Steam game night. I think that's still a thing.
Sort of.
Someone needs to remind me when, like, I know it's Thursday night at 10 p.m., but I need to be pestered.
Send Knobs a text. His number is...
Yeah.
Don't do that now.
867-5309.
Yep.
Community game night. What's up?
Well, we'll figure it out.
Hannah, it's your turn.
Oh, it's my turn.
Yes.
Okay, hold on. I'm getting some data together.
It's Saints Row the 3rd. We'll start next week. Done.
It may not be, actually. There's something catching up.
What's catching up?
Toe Jam Earl 3.
A personal favorite of mine, Deus Ex Human Revolution, is catching up. It's coming from behind.
Yeah, it's a stab.
So, TVGP Game Club number 20 is underway for voting now. You can find that in the forums. Go vote and probably pick Saints Row the 3rd because that's what Knobs wants. The TVGP Game Club number 19 recap should be up maybe tomorrow. I don't know when that's going to get edited.
Whenever I get the file and smush it down.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm going to send that over to Boston today, and hopefully we'll see that soon. Is it on Twitch currently?
Yes.
Who knows?
I archived it. It's on Twitch and YouTube.
Cool. So yeah, you can check out the madness that was that live stream. We actually had the other Jay-Z join us for that one, so it ended up going. It went really well. I think it went kind of long, but it went really well.
And don't forget you can watch this dumb show live every week, twitch.tv/E1M1 Network. That's all we got this week. Thank you very much for listening.
All right, later.
See you.
Peace.
All right, titles.
All right, I've got Hot Swap, Replacement Bits, Revenge Tag, Rolling in the Frags, Tchotchkes on My Gun, Battlefielding, Baby Jesus Asks You, John Q. Streetfighterfan, riding Space Mountain with the lights on, and not good or funny or funky.
I kind of like John Q. Street Fighter Fan.
And Street Fighter Fan has to be all one word.
Yeah, it's his last name.
Yeah. Yeah. And a couple from chat. Where's all my gobbledygook at? And pure unadulterated violence. I think we got a couple more coming in too. I'm just getting my data and get that file, smush it down.
I like John Q. Street Fighter Fan.
Yes, because it sounds like he has a very, very well-off job.
Yeah, he originally from Transylvania was Von Street Fighter Fan.
Von Street Fighter Fan.
It got changed on Ellis Island.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, starting.
Why? Because Hadouken was taken.
Yeah. Yeah. Starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 355 for August 11th, 2014. John Q. Street Fighter Fan.
Lighten up, Cammy.
His dad was Japanese.
All right, thank you very much, everyone, for watching. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Later.